Jane, I'm glad you came by today.
Thanks, David. Today is March 21st, 2020. I am Jane Tisdale with the USA Bugle.com. I have the pleasure of being with David Gladstein to discuss his views on the coronavirus pandemic in the United States and Texas. David, in your opinion, are we doing the right thing to combat coronavirus?
Well, first of all, President Trump and his team are doing an excellent job. They've mobilized everyone in the government that needs to be mobilized, people in the private industry. You really can't do a better job than what he has done. However, some of the local politicians, I think, are interpreting what needs to be done incorrectly. Today, for instance, this is, in my opinion, a very bad thing. New York, California, and Illinois governors ordered all of their residents to stay in their homes. Now, that is unprecedented in the United States, and it is a recipe for absolute disaster and catastrophe. This economy runs on people freely moving about and moving from one destination to another, not only shopping online, but shopping physically in grocery stores and restaurants, going to gymnasium and exercising, trying to be healthy. All of those things that people do every day in the United States of America. Now, Jane, in reference, the H1N1 virus, which we experienced just 10 years ago, that virus infected 60.8 million US residents. It killed 12,500 people. And you really hardly heard anything out of the administration at that time. In fact, the virus had killed 4,000 people before the administration decided to declare an emergency. This virus hasn't infected even a fraction of that many people, and yet you would think that everyone that gets it is going to die. It's simply not true. In fact, some notable people have gotten it recently. Sean Payton, the coach of the New Orleans Saints, Tom Hanks and his wife. To my knowledge, they haven't died. So we can't react this way to a virus, which is exactly what this is. And so I have real concerns about what the local politicians are doing, both nationally and particularly here in Texas, because I live in Dallas, I live in Texas.
So David, what do you think should be done next?
Well, right now the governments are trying to isolate everyone. Healthy people can deal with this virus just like they've dealt with every other virus that we've ever had in the United States. What we should be doing is we should be isolating the elderly. We should be isolating people that have compromised immune systems. We should be asking smokers to be very careful about getting out and unintentionally acquiring this disease, because it is a lung disease, and it works very quickly, and it devastates the lungs very quickly. And those people with weak lungs and that are not healthy are the most vulnerable. But healthy people, there's highly unlikely that you might even get sick. Many of the people don't even know they have it. And then others have a very difficult time with it, but they live. So I believe that we need to address the most vulnerable people, and I think the healthy people need to get back to living a healthy, normal life. And that means opening all the restaurants back up. And that means opening the gymnasiums up, where people that want to go to the gymnasiums can fortify their immune systems by exercising. We need to open the schools up. The children are affected the least by this particular virus, and it's compounding the problem of trying to educate the children at home. Now a person that needs to go to work has to stay at home. It's a compounding effect. And so everything needs to be opened back up, and we need to live with this virus just as we've lived with viruses in the past.
Thank you, David. Is there anything else you would like to add before we conclude?
You know, Jane, in a few weeks, I'll be 71 years old. And I'm going to tell you something. I've lived through a lot of viruses. One of the worst things that I lived through was polio as a child. Most of the people watching this video have probably never heard of polio. Polio is a devastating disease. I can remember people that didn't have it that all of a sudden were walking around with crutches and in braces. It was very difficult, and no one knew how it was acquired when I was a kid. And a gentleman by the name of Jonas Salk came along and developed a vaccine for it, and it basically is extinct. So that's why no one ever hears about it. We will conquer this virus. Some people are going to get it. Some people are going to get it. They're not going to know they have it. And some people are going to get terribly sick with it. But they'll live. The people that will have the most difficult problems are the people that we need to talk to about it. We need to address it. They need to stay home, and they need to stay out of the environment until this disease is over with. And it will get over with the same as all previous diseases got over with. Thank you so much for stopping by, Jane. Appreciate the time.
Thanks, David.